Hello everyone. Today we're gonna be doing a spoiler review talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I did want to make this a whole video of itself because there's just so much to talk about from what they showed in this film and alluding to the future of the franchise. Like I mentioned in the other video, I really loved the intro for this one. What I wanted to see in the first film, what I thought they would do it in there, was that they would show when Spring Bonnie William Afton would lure his victims, the kids, do his thing. I was so excited to see it in this film. I know it must sound kind of scary. Like as a big fan of the games, it was just like crazy seeing that being adapted, and it was actually very well done. Like the way they did it with Charlotte being the daughter of Henry, like the lore, and how she was the first victim, and we got to see that too. That was such an amazing flashback where she's trying to save the kid, and then it just cuts to her back with three stabs, and I was shocked when I saw that scene. It was insane. So I really loved that intro. I hope they keep doing it. In fact, I hope they do it with the bite of, correct me if I'm wrong, 82 or 83. I think that was when, like in the FNAF war game, there's this kid that like sees these nightmare animatronics, but before that, there were these bullies that, when they were in the pizzeria, they would bully him, and his brother was part of that friend group, and they put him into the, because there were two, Spring Bunny and Spring Bear. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Spring Freddy, I don't know what his name is, but they put him in the mouth of. I'm gonna call him a Spring Bear. I know I'm probably wrong, but they put him in the mouth of Spring Bear. It was bothering me, so I searched it up. Called Fred Bear. I remember now from the games, even the little plush that would talk to the kid. But they put him in the mouth of Head Bear, and actually like crushed his head, and ended him with him like having something wrong, or like issues with his head. There was like a bunch of theories. Y'all can check it out with the Game Theory channel. But yeah, I really hope we get to see that flashback. And the bite of I think there was another one, bite of 87. I think that one was Mangle. But again, there's so much lore that I kind of forgot everything. So I hope we get to see those flashbacks, and even like with Emily and Afton working together, like starting out their business in the pizzeria. So yeah, that would be really cool to see. So I really love that intro. I hope they keep doing stuff like that. Like I said, there are many Easter eggs in this film, and one of them that I did find funny was that they've seen the fan memes, the horror, and they added that audio into a Fredbird plushie. So when Mike presses it, you just hear him say horror, and everyone at my theater started laughing, and it was just hilarious to see that. Because I honestly did not think they would add that, but they did, and I was very surprised to see that. There is a cameo in it from the lawyer in the first film. I think his name was Doug, where he he shows up being the neighbor of the house that they crashed into, and he's like, "You're gonna need a really good lawyer," and I think a few fans from the first film noticed that it was him. I instantly picked it up that it was him, even like how he looked. He always looked like terrified. In this one, he looked more like um chill with everyone, because I know he was scared of the aunt in the first film. But yeah, it was pretty funny seeing him back in the second one. So I guess if they make it like a trope of him appearing in the later movies, and I guess that would be fun as well. And another cameo they have is they do have Corey back in this one. He was in the first one as like a taxi driver, or just regular driver, and he comes back in this one where Abby brings her animatronic friends back in, and he's like, "Damn, I gotta get another job." That was pretty cool to see. And one of the big things I got that I saw, that I noticed, was when Vanessa was having her dream or nightmare, I guess. Um, she went into like this room, and then she looks up and she sees Circus Baby, the animatronic, and I would have never guessed they would put her in here. But since she was made by, I think she was made actually by Afton, like even before the whole pizzeria stuff, I think she's in FNAF Sister Location, and in that one I think it was the daughter of his that goes into the animatronic accidentally, and the animatronic takes her. So yeah, that was so cool to see, and kind of teasing to where the franchise is gonna go later on, and which I'll talk about more in a second. They do show Henry Emily, I think it's Emily, the partner of William Afton, when they first started making the Freddy's pizzerias, and Henry would be like the more on the mechanic side, like building the animatronics and all of that stuff, which was ultimately what kind of caused the death of his child, Charlotte, because he was like not paying too much attention to his family. So yeah, it was really great to see Ulrich in this role, because in the first Scream movie, well, spoilers if you haven't seen Scream 1, you could probably skip like 10 seconds. Ulrich and Matthew Lillard are the killers in the Scream movie, and it was just so amazing to see them back in here. So yeah, such a great little nod to that. Another thing that happened, like as soon as they showed Michael Afton, I kind of instantly knew, because I remember some lore still. I'm not that rusty in my lore knowledge, but he looked like so creepy, and I remember him being a security guard in the FNAF games, and he even changed his name, I think, to Jeremy. But what I kind of wish they did is that when he reveals his identity to the little crew that comes to visit the pizzeria location, he presents himself as Michael Afton. And I kind of wish he went under the name that he went in the second game, Jeremy Fitzgerald. It's the fake name that he goes under for that gig, I guess, which ends up being Michael Afton. So I kind of wish they didn't say he was Michael Afton. But yeah, other than that, I really think they casted him pretty well, because he does look pretty creepy. He looks exactly how I expected his William Afton's son to look like. So yeah, well, actually, I think they did perfect casting for Michael Afton. So basically, at the end, when Marinette takes over Vanessa, usually in the lore, Vanessa is like not even part of the family of the Aftons, I think. She's Vanny, the bunny, in such a location. No, actually, no. Security breach. Sorry, like I said, I'm a little rusty. I don't know if they might go that route, because she might turn. I guess she's evil now, and who knows if Afton kind of like probably controls Marionette or something. Probably not, because obviously Marionette hates Afton. But yeah, I don't know where they're gonna head, honestly. But I do have an idea, because they did show Circus Baby, so I could see that seed planted for like the fourth film. The third film, it's basically gonna be FNAF 3, where Springtrap is in I think it was like a location built by some like people that stumbled across the FNAF 1 location, and they gathered stuff to make like a memorabilia place attraction. And so basically it's gonna be, and that one, it was his son versus him, I think. But I guess in the film it's gonna be like all the crew against him. And basically, from what the credit scene showed us, was the crew stumbling across the location and Springtrap, and they kind of do show his design, but they cover it on like a sheet. But I'm so hyped for what's gonna come next for the franchise, and I can't wait to see more Spring Bonnie flashbacks, more Springtrap, because I think Matthew Lillard is amazing. Just seeing everything that I know be adapted is amazing as a fan. And yeah, there's also like so many stuff that Vanessa wasn't telling Mike. So she's gonna have to, because she did mention that she had a brother, that being Michael Afton, and I guess she's gonna have to explain that she had if they don't change much from the lore, that she has a little sister and a little brother, because the circus baby takes the little sister, and the brother's the one that gets in the Bite of 82 incident, or 83, by Fredbear. So yeah, I could see why Mike is like frustrated with her. But yeah, I guess she just has been through a lot. I was expecting to see Markiplier, but I did not see him anywhere. Yeah, he did not have a role in this movie, not that I know of, unless it was like a voice or something. But no, I don't think he was in this at all. So hopefully, maybe in the third one or later on, because for me he was a big hook for the game, because I was around when franchise first started with the first Five Nights at Freddy's, and Markiplier was the one that got me like into those games. So I hope we get to see him soon. Hopefully, that would be really cool. So yeah, I really loved that intro. And then basically, what happens afterwards? Mike and Vanessa are trying to like move on from the whole incident with the pizzeria and Willem Aft and all of that, but it comes back to haunt them because Abby gets a message from this little fast talking thingy, lures her back into a different location because she thinks that her old friends are there because she's been wanting to see them for a very long time. But she encounters the toy animatronics, which look amazing, and Chica's the one that mainly talks to her. This whole time, it turns out that they were being controlled by the marionette, being Charlotte, the first victim of William Afton. And we do see McKenna Grace and her crew like go in and see Michael Afton, which he basically lets them in and see around, scoop around the place. And that turns out horribly because the marionette literally takes control of McKenna Grace's character and everyone else dies in horrific ways, but they were kind of cool to see. And after that, Michael Afton dips. So yeah, Abby gets the codes by Chica, by Marinette. She's using Abby to get Vanessa to give her the codes so that the animatronics can go and leave the pizzeria because if they leave the pizzeria, they die. They get disconnected, I guess. Abby was telling Vanessa about the place, and it sounded pretty similar to what she was seeing back then in her childhood. She tells Mike, and they get in a fight, but they end up going back to the pizzeria either way. And in this one, we get to see they call them prototypes, the animatronics, the withered ones. In the games, they turned out to be the first ones from the first game, that being the second location. But in this one, they just call them prototypes. Their designs are awesome as well. And they also get activated by Marinette while Chica's doing the whole stuff with the student mechanical engineering fair. I forgot what it was called, but and Chica does end up killing the professor because he's like being so mean to Abby. The withered animatronics get activated and they go after Mike, who's trying to get the locations of the other animatronics who are in the city. And once he runs into them, he uses the FNAF mask. If you don't know, it's this Freddy Fazbear mask that the security guard puts on, and the other animatronics think that you're one of them, so they don't hunt you. And I always thought Foxy knew what was up, but I can't remember too much. But they do show that even when they're like up close to like the to your face, and it was pretty cool. And we also saw Shadow Bonnie, which was just a small like if you blink you could miss it, but it was in the very left side. It was exactly like how it looks in the games, and it was such a cool little little Easter egg for that. So yeah, that was amazing. Balloon Boy was another great character as well. He's one of my favorites, and he gets decapitated by Mike. And I thought we are gonna see him like take his batteries or something, or do more, but he's in it for like a very small part of the film, kind of. Like he has a decent amount, but not too much. So yeah, once he gets the locations of the animatronics, Vanessa goes and hunts down Toy Freddy, where she ends up tackling Mangled into the window and knocks out Freddy. And that's when the lawyer shows up, Doug, and they hunt out for the other animatronics, which turn out to be in the house of Mike with the Marinette. And I just thought the way they show how Marinette takes over the bodies of or possesses people was cool. They just show very like horrific with the purple tears and slender, thin looking with the fingers. I think it was like 3 fingers, long fingers. Looked pretty cool. And there were some scary scenes with that too. And from an earlier scene, they basically put her to an end by Mike turning on the music box that Henry gives him when they have their meeting earlier in the film. That turned out to be the partner with William Afton in the pizzeria business. That's what puts the Marinette to sleep. Usually, also in the games, it keeps her from jump scaring you if you just keep turning the music box. And I like the way they did it in the film as well. It's pretty cool. And then that's when a crazy scene happens. Mike goes to the other FNAF location where Abby made the first friends, like Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. And Mike is begging for the help. And I guess my theory is the reason that they didn't show up for Mike or Abby when they visited it in in the film earlier. It's because they're holding down like William Afton from getting out of that place. Because when they're surrounded by the toy animatronics, they get jumped by the older ones, and they end up protecting Abby, and they basically like show up kind of like in Avengers, like when they show them and they're like so heroic in their stances, and they one shot them, and then at the end, since they can't leave the nav locations, they do get deactivated and they move on the kid spirits to a better place, which was I guess kind of sad for Abby. Yeah, it was pretty sad. And then Michael Afton shows up asking for his sister to join back the family, even though but she doesn't want that. She wants to stay as far away as possible from them and move on from the whole thing. He wants to continue his father's legacy. I think in the games he just wants to everything to go back to normal because the whole family is like cursed. Well, because of William Afton being the guy who he is. Horrible stuff happens, and due to his creations as well and what he's done, him being a killer and all, they forget about the marionette. Michael Afton dips, and Mike Schmidt is mad at Vanessa, and he leaves with Abby, and then Vanessa gets haunted by or possessed by the marionette, and that's basically the end of the film. So yeah, we'll have to see where they go from there. I don't know if they're gonna turn her into Vanny or something. I don't know. Maybe we might see that. But yeah, that post credit scene really got me hyped for what's to come in the future for that third film. I really think they're gonna go as much as they can, hopefully, because I know this has Five Nights at Freddy's has a huge fandom. Even over the years, it just keeps building more and more. So if we show up, they'll keep making more, yo. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was so crazy seeing Circus Baby because she's in digital location and they have yet to get there, and they already showed her in the second FNAF film because it was like a flashback to Vanessa being a child. So yeah, I can't wait to see where they go. I know they probably have some ideas where to go from there. Other than that, I really enjoyed this film a lot. Yeah, we'll just have to see where it all goes. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped. Other than that, thanks for tuning along. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace out.